Hello students, here we have come on the platform of Indian Online School. We have come up with a discussion of a paper of grade 8 level 2. So before I start with the discussion, let us first know about the question pattern. So in this question paper you have total of 50 questions. First 45 questions carry 1 mark. All are questions from science only, and the last 5 questions are having 3 marks, so 15 marks, so a total of 60 marks question paper. So let's begin the paper. Question 1. Which of the following statement is or are correct? Pressure in a liquid increases with depth, but at the same depth it is equal in all direction. So here we can see that pressure, we know pressure equal to P equal to PGH, right? So here H is the depth, right? At a given depth, the pressure is the same in all direction, which experiments with water jets or holes at the same level clearly, right? So here we can see that the first statement is correct. The second statement, air above the surface of the body presses it down with a force equal to that exerted by a mass of 1 kg on every. So here we can see that the air above any surface exerts atmospheric pressure, which corresponds to weight of a vertical column of air above each unit area. So numerically, if we see, this pressure is often compared with the force that a 1 kg mass would exert on each square centimeter, right? So we know that 1 kg per centimeter square is equal to 98,000 Pascal, right? So this can be illustrating that air presses down significantly on every point. So thus this statement is also correct. Next statement, atmospheric pressure increases at height above sea level increases. So atmospheric pressure does not increase with height. It decreases as height above sea level increases, because there is less air above and the air becomes less dense. This decreases roughly follows an exponential law with altitude. So the statement atmospheric increases as height increases is incorrect. So the third statement is incorrect. The fourth statement says pressure exerted. So let me write down, this is the correct statement, this is the correct statement, and this is the incorrect statement. Okay. Pressure exerted by a body is greater when area of contact is smaller. So we know that pressure is defined as force per unit area, right? So it is P equal to F by A. So for the same force, a smaller contact area produces a larger pressure. So that is why sharp object, which takes a smaller area, exerts greater pressure and can penetrate materials more easily than blunt ones. So this statement is also true. So our correct answer is option number B. Question number 2. Sonal has a sitar. The string is plucked in the middle first and a sound X is produced. Again, the middle of the string is pressed and plucked at 1/4 of the length with the same force and another sound Y is produced. Which of the following statement is correct? So here, if you see, if when Sonal presses the string at 1/4 of its length, the vibrating part of the string becomes shorter. So sound Y has a higher frequency, that means higher pitch, means sound X, while loudness remains the same because the plucking force is unchanged. So in this case, our answer should be option number D. Sound Y has higher pitch than sound X. Question number 3. Question number 3 says the distance of a star from the Earth is about 6 light years. The time taken by the light to reach the Earth from the star is about. So here the speed of the light is given as 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, right? So here, to find out the time taken by the light to travel from the star to the earth, what we have to use? We have to use the formula, that is time equal to distance by speed, right? We know the distance of the star is 6 light year. It is given here, 6 light year, right? So first, we need to convert this light year into meter. So what we know, 1 light year is equal to 9.461 into 10 to the power 15 meter. Thus, if we see that distance is equal to 6 light year, so 6 into 9.461 into 10 to the power 15 meter. I'll just cut light year here. So it will come around 5.6766 into 10 to the power 16 meter. Now, time, the speed of the light is given as 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. So here we will have to just put this into place. 5.6766 into 10 to the power 16 divided by 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. This is meter. Okay, so our answer should come around 1.8922 into 10 to the power 8. So in 1.89 into 10 to the power 9 seconds. So our correct answer is option number D. Oh, sorry, this will be 8. So our correct answer is option number B. Question number 4. The direction of a ray of light incident on a concave mirror is shown by PQ, while direction in which the ray would travel after reflection is shown by 4 rays marked 1, 2, 3 and 4. Which of the 4 rays correctly shows the direction of the reflected ray? So here we can see this is the reflected ray it is given, shown in PQ, while direction in which the ray would travel after reflection is shown by 4 rays. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Achha, this is Roman oak. That's why it is confusing. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. Correct. So from here we can see that this is the incident light and the reflected light would be most probably 2. Why? Because we know this is a concave mirror. Correct, it is a concave mirror. So for a concave mirror, the normal to the surface at any point lies along the radius of the curvature. Correct. So here the radius of the curvature C is here, right? So the incident ray, this PQ, is along the CF, this one. So CF is a normal. So as CF is a normal, therefore the reflected ray must make an angle equal with the CF on the other side. So this matches with this 2. So thus our answer should be option number C, that is 2. Question number 5. Read the given statements and choose the correct option. The first statement says, when static friction acts between two bodies, there is no relative motion. Relative bodies. So the first statement says when static friction acts between two bodies, there is no relative motion. So we know static friction acts only when the two surfaces are not sliding relative to each other. It prevents relative motion. So when the static friction acts, there is no relative motion between the two bodies. So the first statement is the correct statement. Okay. The second statement says when kinetic friction acts between two bodies, there is no loss of mechanical energy. So kinetic, which we also call as the sliding friction, it acts when there is relative motion and it always converts some mechanical energy into heat. So there is loss of mechanical energy. Thus, the second statement is a wrong statement. So our correct answer should be option number C. Statement 1 is true and statement 2 is false. Question number 6. A plane mirror is inclined at an angle 45 degree to the floor as shown in the figure. An incident light parallel to the floor strikes the mirror and a deflected ray is formed. If the angle of inclination is decreased to 35 degree without changing the direction of the incident ray, then what will be the change in angle between the incident ray and the deflected ray? So here we can see that for mirror at 45 degree to the floor, angle between the incident ray and the mirror surface is equal to 90 minus 45, that is 45 degree. Angle between incident and reflected ray is 2 into 45 degree, that is 90 degrees. Okay. So, for the, if the angle of inclination is decreased to 35, right, then what will happen? The angle between the incident ray and the surface will be 35 degree. So the angle of incidence in this case, it will be 90 minus 35, that is 55 degrees. And the angle between incident and reflected ray, it will be 2 into 55. That is 110. So the change will be 110 minus 90. So 20 degree should be our answer. So our correct answer is option number B. Question number 7. Which of the following statements are correct? In an LED, the longer lead is anode, which is always connected to the negative terminal of the battery. So, in an LED light, so longer lead is equal to the anode, that is the positive one. So, anode is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. So, the first statement is false. The second statement, if electrodes are immersed in acidified water, the current is passed, oxygen bubbles are formed on the electrode connected to negative terminal of the battery. So we know negative terminal is equal to cathode. That means hydrogen is released. So oxygen forms an anode, that is the positive terminal. So thus this statement is also false. The third statement, most liquids that conduct electricity are solutions of acid, bases and salt. This is correct. And thus we know that because it is a general statement about the electrolytes. When electrolytes are present, there will be conductivity of electricity, otherwise not. So this is a true statement. The fourth statement, tin cans used for storing food are made by electroplating tin on iron because tin is less reactive than iron. So this is also true. Why? Because tin protects iron from rusting. So tin does not get rust, but iron gets rusted. So thus tin is less reactive. So this statement is also true. So as the question says, we have to find out the correct statement. So our correct statement is option number 3 and 4. So answer B. Question number 8. Which of the following statement is incorrect? It is possible to predict the occurrence of an earthquake. No, occurrence of earthquake is not possible to predict. So this is a false statement. Second, static charges are produced by rubbing two objects. Correct. This is a true statement. Lightning is caused by the process of electric discharge between the clouds and the earth, or between clouds, or between different clouds. This is also true. So our correct answer is option number A. Question number 9. In which of the following cases does the frictional force exist? Only for moving of bodies? Only for bodies at rest? Only for bodies rolling on an inclined plane? None of this. So here you can see that frictional force exists both on moving bodies and on rest. If the body is rolling on an inclined plane, or if the body is rolling on a plane surface. So the correct answer should be option number D. Question number 10. Suppose a new planet is discovered which revolves around the sun. That is, it is a part of our solar system. If its orbit lies between Saturn and Jupiter, then its time period will be. So, if the planet orbits between the Saturn and the Jupiter, then the time should be more than that of Jupiter, because it will be beyond Jupiter, so it will take more amount of time. So definitely our answer should be option number B. Question number 11. A thin convex lens is placed on a plane mirror. A pencil is adjusted vertically until its image is seen to be at the same position when viewed from the top as shown. Given that x is the focal length of the lens, what is the distance between the pencil and the optical center of the lens? So here we can see that this is the convex lens, this is the optical center, this is the mirror, and this is the pencil, and this is the image of the pencil, and this is the observer, right? So let's deduce this. So when a convex lens placed on a plane mirror, it behaves like a lens facing a virtual object that is behind the lens. Okay. So now from this condition, as it is given in this picture, we can see the pencil is above the lens. The mirror creates a virtual image of the pencil at the same distance below the mirror. Correct. The virtual image acts as the object for the lens. So if we consider small d to be the distance of pencil from the lens and x to be the focal length of the convex lens. So we can tell the distance of the object u equal to -2. Why? Because the virtual object is below the lens, that is negative. And the final image distance is v equal to plus d. This will be 2d, okay? Plus d. Why? Because the image is above the lens. It is real or virtual, but the same side. Okay. So here the lens formula will be 1 by v minus 1 by u is equal to 1 by x. So if we put the value here, so 1 by d minus 1 by minus 2d is equal to 1 by x. Correct. So 1 by d plus 1 by 2d is equal to 1 by x. So 3 by 2d is equal to 1 by x. So d equal to 3x by 2. So it should be around 1.5x. So the pencil must be placed at a distance of 1.5x from the optical center of the lens. So our correct answer here is approximately C, that is given as 2x.